Good morning. The Virginia Supreme Court has reversed a woman's conviction for contempt of court after telling a Loudoun County Circuit Court judge that she had smoked marijuana before testifying against her ex-boyfriend for a felony domestic assault. For Monday, October 6th, it's your Loudoun Now Morning Minute. Thanks for being with us. I'm Rince Green. The Virginia Supreme Court last week reversed the 2021 conviction of a woman who was held in contempt of court at her ex-boyfriend's trial for felony domestic assault against her. Loudoun Circuit Court Judge James Fisher halted that trial and pressed Katie Orndorff on whether she had done drugs that day. She admitted she smoked marijuana before coming to court. Smoking marijuana was already legal at that time, but Fisher declared a mistrial and imposed a 10-day jail sentence on Orndorff for misbehavior in the presence of the court. The Virginia Supreme Court has now overturned that, finding the statement of facts submitted by Judge James Fisher to justify his actions did not match the actions recorded in a video of the proceedings. Justice Stephen R. McCullough's majority opinion raised concerns that Fisher's account of the incident exaggerated Orndorff's behavior. He wrote, quote, "The circuit court's orders differ from what is depicted in the video to the extent that the facts in the written orders are embellished. The circuit court did not observe the facts upon which it purported to rely," end quote. The court found there was insufficient evidence to support Fisher's action and said some of his findings were contradicted by the record. Quote, "The circuit court observed behavior by Orndorff that was understandably a source of concern for the court. The evidence personally observed by the judge in the courtroom, however, did not establish beyond a reasonable doubt that her behavior was attributable to voluntary intoxication," end quote. 4 justices signed on to that opinion, with 3 signing a dissent by Justice Teresa M. Chafin, who raised concerns that the majority opinion would improperly curtail a judge's authority to punish disruptive behavior. Go to loudounnow.com/Morning Minute to check out the whole story. In other news, Loudoun's students continue to outperform the state on SOLs by most measures and are doing better every year, but with a caveat. The latest Standards of Learning test results show Loudoun's English language learners continuing to struggle. Loudoun's pass rates on the SOLs were higher than the state average in reading, math, science, history, and writing. Students with disabilities also outperformed the state. And English learners also mostly did better than the state average, but 53% passed the history SOL, 49% passed math, 36% passed reading, 33% passed science, and only 31%, less than a third, passed writing. SOL testing is also going to change a little from here on out. The Virginia Department of Education will be raising the benchmarks on the SOLs, meaning it will take higher scores to pass and to achieve the different proficiency levels on the test. Those scores had been lowered in 2020. Several grades would have seen their pass rates on reading drop by about 30% under the new scoring, and the number of students passing the Algebra 1 exam would have been 40% lower this year. School Board Chair Melissa Mansfield said the new scoring is, quote, "an experiment that is using our students as guinea pigs." She said it's a rushed process that hasn't gotten enough study. She also criticized a new state law that will require SOL scores to account for 10% of a student's final grade from 7th grade on. The school board also got some other test data. SAT scores rose slightly. This year's statewide data isn't available yet, but Loudoun students did better than last year's state average, and 97% of the class of 2025 graduated on time. Loudoun County is expecting to get about $10 million of the $7.4 billion Purdue Pharma and Sackler family opioid settlement. The settlement is meant to help fight opioid addiction nationwide. It's the latest in a series of national opioid crisis settlements in the last few years, including Kroger, Walmart, CVS, and others. It's also possible for the county to get another 25% on top of that if the county uses the money for programs approved by the Virginia Opioid Abatement Authority, which is set to get $612 million from that and other settlements itself by 2040. The Opioid Abatement Authority has already made $111 million in grants to localities, including $200,000 to Loudoun to fund a needs assessment and strategic plan. And to get the bonus, the county has to use the funding for new programs. And even though it's only October, Leesburg's famous Jingle Jam Band are already getting ready for this year's holiday concerts. Last week, band member Cal Everett presented a check for $16,000 to Loudoun Hunger Relief and Breakthrough T1D, formerly known as the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. The money was raised at last year's 3 sold-out shows. If you're not familiar with the Jingle Jam, it's pretty much assumed that any Jingle Jam Band concert is sold out. People stand in line for hours the morning those tickets go on sale. Since the Jingle Jam Band concerts started in 2007, they've donated more than $140,000. If you want to get those tickets, they go on sale this year, Saturday, November 8th. Get the full story on this and all these stories over at loudounnow.com. On the Get Out Loudoun calendar tomorrow, Rust Library in Leesburg is going to host Meet Your Neighbor at 2 p.m. Coffee, tea, treats, and relaxed, pleasant conversation with others. Fun, easy discussion questions are provided. Check out the rest of the events calendar at getoutloudon.com. And if you like the Morning Minute, convince the Jingle Jam Band to play the Morning Minute jingle this year to tell all your friends, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and it'll be waiting for you there every morning. Okay. Have a great day.